Okay, just to kind of review where we're at, we looked at the way that the cultist, I guess you could say, will kind of mix and match practices to their own preference. You know, they won't necessarily have a dogmatic set of beliefs, or they won't necessarily do all the different things. They'll just, kind of pick and choose as floats their fancy. And then last week, we were looking at the question and answers. So tonight we're going to start looking at ghosts and hauntings and that kind of stuff. And, is that real? Can something be haunted? That kind of stuff. But before we get there, because it's going to probably go for a week or two, I wanted to start off with some discussion questions here, which I realize tonight might not be the best night for that. So we have two options. Option number one, we just kind of skip the discussion questions until there's more of a group. Or option number two, we just kind of keep it short, and if you want to say something, you do, and otherwise we just plow through and kind of just, what do you want to do? Okay. So we'll start off with, and it's kind of a series of questions, so we'll just see how far we get down with this. A lot of times when you're talking with atheists or other people who are just kind of negative towards religion and spiritual people, they'll basically say some kind of a variation about how all religions are a cult. And so how would you respond if somebody said this to you? All religions are a cult. Wrong. Okay. And the discussion has ended. Just kidding. Plowing along. Play through. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we could summarize what you said by there's inherently something different by definition of those two words, a religion versus cult. So your, I guess, answer would be more focused on the semantics, right? That religion means one thing and cult means something else, and they follow two different practices, I guess you could say. And so by definition, they can't be the same. That's basically what you're saying, right? Or am I kind of... You did. You did say more. Were you going to say something, Chris? Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So the cultists will do different things than the religious one. Not following different rules. Yep, okay. Danny, were you going to say anything? No? Well, let's see if anybody else has something. Anybody over there? Okay. So I think some questions that could go along with this, before I actually get to any kind of an answer myself, is when somebody makes the comment, all religions are a cult, I think it might be a good opportunity for a discussion. But the problem is, half the time when somebody says something like this, they're not actually interested in a discussion. They're just kind of trying to make fun of you and then move on with their life. So it's going to be kind of hard to engage them in a conversation. But if they were willing to, and they were... Wrong. I mean, if it works, right? Especially any kind of online discussion revolving this is going to go pretty much nowhere. So if you're in person and they're actually open for the conversation, maybe some follow-up questions that could kind of open the way to a discussion is, okay, so what is a cult? Just like asking for clarity on definitions. Is all organized religion a cult, or all religion regardless? Because those are two different things. One is like organized religion would be like, okay, so modern Christianity would be an organized religion. But religion itself would maybe be more of any religious expression of any kind, or any, worship of a being. See what I mean? And so then you have to ask the question, so what is a religion then? I mean, what is it that you're saying by your statement, all religions are called? And but with that being said, there are some, the part that the atheist has right about this statement, I think is worth mentioning, because I don't think we really consider it too much. And that's that there are certain aspects that sound cultish if you are not a religious person. Like, for instance, we believe that we have the truth, right? We believe that we have the only truth. We believe that we have the only way to heaven. So from an outsider looking in, that kind of dogmatism can kind of seem a little bit narrow-minded and cultish, especially when we live in a world of such inclusion, which isn't really inclusive at all. It's more of including one group at the cost of all the others. So I don't really know if you want to call it inclusion, but let's pretend like we're calling it inclusion. It still doesn't, you get what I'm saying. I don't want to belabor the point. So this question, I think, has two different claims as going with. The first claim is all religions is a cult, which is actually, all religions are a cult, which is, what was said. But I think the second claim that's being sometimes stated here is all organized religion is a cult. So if we're saying all religion is a cult, we have a problem because religious practice and human history go hand in hand. All throughout human history, we have never found a time of human history that is void of worship. People have always worshipped something. I mean, there's always been proof of some kind of religious cycle, which is also what the Bible says. It says pretty much as soon as they were out of the garden, they were worshiping. They started sacrificing in the days when Adam was still alive. I mean, he wasn't dead at that point. So, human history, as far as archaeology and stuff, shows that too. And then there's the obvious problem that everybody worships something. Some people worship a god, some people worship themselves. Some people worship money. I mean, whatever you're putting trust in, whatever you are seeking and desiring with your whole heart, that's the thing that you're worshiping. It's the thing that owns you. For some people, it's sex. All that they want is more sexual content. And they'll never be happy unless actually they just won't. Even if they get more and more, it doesn't matter. They're still not happy. For some people, it's a thing about money. I want to die rich. And it's like, okay. And then when we look at the idea of worship itself is to show reverence, to adore, to have unquestioning devotion or ritual, So when we look at these things, to say all religion is a cult is a little bit naive because it excludes all human history and for no reason. And then it takes away the humanity of man with the way that we worship things. But then the second claim is quite different. All organized religion is a cult. Well, now if that's what we're saying, nowadays people like to really rag on organization, like it's somehow less spiritual, less whatever. But there's nothing inherently wrong with organization. Whether we're talking about a government or a church or whatever, getting more organized isn't a bad thing. I mean, yes, there are some times when things will kind of get out of hand, but that doesn't mean it is inherently bad. So with that being said, and hear what I'm saying, it is irrelevant how many organized religions are a cult. It's an irrelevant conversation because those are two different things. Cult, organized religion. So even if every single organized religion was a cult, that doesn't mean that the definition of an organized religion is inherently cult. See what I mean? So you're talking about a problem of philosophy, really. And then you have the obvious things. What proof do you have of the claim? Because to say something like that, you have to give some kind of a basis. Did you research all religions and find out that every single one of them was started for ulterior motives? Like, how did you get there? When you look at, for instance, Moses started a religion. The people believed that it was from God because of signs performed, not just because he came out of a tent and said, hey, I've been smoking this stuff, and I came up with some wild things. And, what did Moses get out of this? Nothing. He got nothing out of it. Like, didn't even want to be out there in the first place, and he didn't even want to be with those people in the first place. So he really didn't get anything out of it. I think there's just a lot of things that sound good, and when you actually look at them, they're not that great. And especially with things like this, if you actually just stop and slow down and ask the question, you'll find out it wasn't really based on any. Basically, I had a bad experience with the church. I'm bitter. I don't want to talk about it. I want to make you mad. And so they'll say these kinds of things for the sole purpose of getting you mad. It's not about intellectual discussion or anything. Which you see, actually, a lot of people do this with evolution too. They're not concerned with questioning They're scientifically held beliefs. They don't, no. And there is no such thing as absolute certainty in science. Science gives us probabilities, but they're not willing to look at that. And it's one of the greatest strengths of modern weaknesses of modern science. So can we go ahead and go to the video then? Do you know how to do it? I'll help you get started.
In the following video, a woman named Britt is outside her house trying her best to remain calm after witnessing something that left her immensely terrified.
I'm recording this just in the off chance that no one believes me. Maybe I can catch it. And by the way, I have a freaking cemetery in my front yard, which probably doesn't help my cause. But I was just inside, I'm by myself with my dog. She's in that room upstairs. Josie? Josie? Yeah, she's just been staring at that, and then she started barking, and she...
Okay, I want you to notice a few things as we're listening to this video. Up to this point, have we seen anything that would make you think there's a ghost in the house? Anything? You've heard her say about ghost, but we haven't actually seen anything. The same thing is, notice how they are playing spooky music in the background. Okay, that was not the ghost playing that. They added that later, and it seems like it's a common thread in these ghost videos. It's like trying to create an atmosphere. Go ahead and play it.
She growled, and when she growled, I kind of like booked it. Staring at that, and then she started barking. And she growled, and when she growled, I kind of like booked it. I just don't really know what she's staring at. Because again, like, this is usually how she looks when she's waiting for me to come in, and I'm just like... What? What is it?
For some reason,
Okay, there's a few more things to note. First off, there is a camera next to the bed, but she has refused to show us any surveillance as to what was happening before she went in the room, as to why the dog's barking, okay? Second off, was the camera sitting there? Why was there a camera in her bedroom facing towards the closet? Does she oftentimes record her closet? It seems kind of coincidental that the camera just so happened to be pointed at the closet exactly where the dog was barking. Next off, I've seen dogs do this lots of times when there's mice in the walls, when there is a noise from outside that's kind of making an echo, or if there's a vent, lots of different things like that. All we're seeing is that we're seeing a dog barking at the wall. Maybe the dog just is a dumb dog. I mean, that happens. And keep going.
Britt's dog has been staring at this closet space for quite some time, despite there being no one or nothing inside. The space is clear, but strangely, her dog is locked in on something. Although initially spooked, it wasn't until her dog started growling and barking at the space that she immediately fled, at which point she began to record this video. Now there's something in the beginning that Britt captures, which is worth pointing out, and that's the graveyard in front of her house. Every so often, Josie would come out to the spot and just stare at it in the same way that she would when looking at the closet space.
Josie. Josie, what's going on?
For this reason, Britt believes that the cemetery might have something to do with Josie's strange behavior. It's as though she's seeing something that we can't. But things get even creepier when Britt mentions a certain detail about this graveyard.
So a lot of you guys have also been asking questions about the graveyard. Yes, we do indeed have a graveyard on this property. So this was my grandparents' ranch, and it was their wish to be buried right here, just where they were. And before they passed away, they buried all of their cats right here where you see the little crosses. And so that's really all that there's to it. But things have been quite strange lately. Like, for some reason, cows just like come to this area sometimes and like surround it, because we during the day we leave that gate open.
As she
So there's a few things that she's mentioned here. First off, she said about how the dog will go out there and just stare. We have seen exactly one instance of the dog going out there and staring. What was the dog staring at? I don't know. Maybe it saw something in the field over there, and it just walked over there. It just walked over there, out of the blue. She's not shown us any other days that the dog walked over there, yet she made the claim that the dog is frequently going over there. Second thing is she said about how with the cemetery, actually her and the narrator both said that there was some kind of significance about the cemetery. Why? Why does it matter if there's a cemetery there or not? What does it have to do with anything? And they're drawing attention as like, it has something to do with the cemetery. Okay, well, hold on, pause. Why? What does that matter? Are we saying that there's somehow what proof of a cemetery being connected with ghosts? And then she told us a story about her grandma and grandpa dying, which is unverified. She's just giving us this information, nothing to, at this point it's just a story, which maybe she's telling the truth, but maybe she's not. Okay, so there's a bunch of just random interjections that have nothing to do with any proof of a ghost. And now they're going to show us the cows coming and standing around here. I have oftentimes seen cows do this exact same thing. Stand in a certain spot with no reason for it. And then they'll have favorite spots to stand. It's what they do. They're cows. Go ahead and play the video.
mentions, cows would also come to this exact spot and do the same thing that her dog would do. Keep in mind that the only farm animals that she has on this ranch are horses. These cows aren't hers, but they always come from a neighboring ranch and surround her graveyard.
See, this is what I'm talking about. They literally just come and hang out here all the time now. It's a newer development. Like, why? They just kind of come and really breeze around this area. And they just kind of will freeze and won't move. So, yeah.
If Josie's behavior hasn't fully convinced Britt that something is up with her graveyard, then the cows definitely have. Now, the cow situation is a relatively new occurrence. It was only a month ago, in April, that they started to appear. This is why she's been trying to record them as much as she can, just in case they stop showing up and no one believes her. But one night, while getting a food delivery, Britt records something that makes her even more certain that there's something off about the graveyard. It's late at night when this is captured.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
this is location is outside, no here.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
yeah. It's okay, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
See the cows over there?
I scared. Is the cow?
They're actually not mine. I don't know. It wasn't showing up.
Hi.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you. See, this is what I'm talking about. Every freaking night, like even at night, they even come and hang out here, and they just stand and Are you for real right now?
Okay, pause right there for a second. So there's a few things. It's about to show something that they're going to say is the proof. Finally, we're getting somewhere, right? But up to this point, they're saying about how it's so weird about the cows. How is it weird? How is this weird? And then as far as the alarm going off, did you know that you can put your alarm system where if you open the door, it'll set the alarm off? Did you notice how it was about the 15 seconds from her opening the door to her walking outside for till the alarm started going off? That wasn't a ghost. She just forgot to disarm the system before she turned it up, before she opened the door. Like that has nothing to do with the ghost. And then if you take away all the people talking and the weird music in the background, what you're left with is you're left with cows coming into a driveway and standing there. And that's it. Okay, now look at this. This is going to be her de facto proof of a ghost. Go ahead and play.
Eerily, her shirt is pulled by something that can't be seen. It was right after she walked in to disable the home security alarm, which had gone off for unknown reasons, that this happened. Upon feeling a sudden yank, she immediately drops her food and runs out in a panic frenzy. According to her, it was as if someone had tugged at her sleeve with all their might.
Okay, pause right
shaken
there.
up by
Pause
the
right there. She just said it was as if somebody pulled on her sleeve with all her might. Okay, Danny, come here, please. I'm going to use you as an example, okay? Stand right here. You're the woman. I'm the ghost, okay? No, I haven't pulled it yet. Remember, you don't know that I'm going to pull it. Look that way. You don't know that I'm going to pull it. I haven't pulled it yet. Okay, do you see how he was moved when I pulled it? She wasn't even phased. Second off, come back. Second off, if you notice when the shirt was pulled, it looked more like this. Who pulls a shirt like this? You know what else pulls a shirt like this? Is a fishing line. Is it possible that was a ghost? Is it also possible that somebody staged a ghost thing by pulling a fishing line on her shirt? Yes, she could have phased it. Why would she have pretended and faked that? Well, actually, because people make a lot of money online posting ghost videos. And there's no reason to think that was a person pulling on her. There's no physical harm on her body. What we saw is one piece of her shirt being pulled like this, and it said that it felt like somebody yanking her with all their force, and yet it didn't even cause her to lean into the pull. Are you joking? If somebody pulls you with all their force, you're going to at least stutter a little bit with your foot, and she didn't do anything. So what proof do we have that it is as she claimed? Nothing. We have a shirt being pulled. Play the video.
She decides to sleep in the RV outside and wait until her family came back from their trip. It goes without saying, but she was totally freaked out, and it didn't help that she was all alone when this happened. This incident, along with the strange behavior from the animals, has led her to believe that the graveyard is either cursed or haunted. Whether paranormal or not, these occurrences are still pretty creepy. But despite there being no further videos on this situation...
Did you hear what you just said? Whether cursed or not, this is still creepy. No. If it's not cursed, then it's not creepy. It's only creepy if it is cursed, right? if it's not a ghost, it's not creepy at all, right? Go ahead and play it.
These current ones continue to spook viewers and make them wonder just what exactly is going on with Britt's home. Like all videos, this one remains a mystery. Now this next video takes place at a museum where something pretty creepy was captured. Now just for context, the person recording this was visiting this museum after his father came here a few days ago. His dad told him that there was something off about this place. He doesn't know why, but the exhibition that's dedicated to a woman known as Maria Sabina creeps him out. Whether it's because her wax statue looks a little too real or her history with witchcraft, this whole exhibition scares him. But after watching this video that his son took, there's no way that he's coming back to this place now. The following is what his son captured at the exhibition of Maria Sabina. Have a look.
está perro este desmadre. ¡Ay, hijo de
Okay, pause it.
güey, qué pedo!
Did you guys see what happened? Okay, the head slightly turned to the side. That's it. Okay, so this one has a few problems, which are important problems that I feel like need to be addressed. First off, he just so happens to be standing there recording a wax figure, which by definition does not move. How many times have you seen somebody go into a wax figure and stand there holding their camera at it for 30 seconds? Recording it for 30 seconds. I counted to 30, and I was counting slow seconds. So that means it might have been over 30 seconds that he was recording this. Why would you be standing there recording a wax figure? Why not just take a picture and move on? But it just so happens he's sitting there recording it. Always watching these ghost videos, it just so happens that their camera is exactly centered on the thing that they want to do. Okay. All right. Then there's a second issue that does not look like a wax figure to me. The camera is a little bit grainy. It's hard to tell, but it really looks like a woman sitting there. It really looks like a woman sitting there. And, yes, if there is a wax figure that they also put up in this place. That's true. But is it possible that they would have switched the two out? Yes, it's very possible. Now, can wax figures move as far as animatronics? No, they cannot move as far as animatronics. Wax figures are not made in that way, that you can't do that. The second thing is, can wax figures shift like that from, the change of temperature, like the heat or the cold? No, pretty much no. They're pretty much just going to stay, just like they were made. And so those kinds of easy answers are probably out the door, unless it's not really a wax figure. It's made with something else like an animatronics. But that would mean that they lied on the video. So go ahead and play.
Somehow, the wax figure of Maria Sabina comes alive. She seemingly tilts her head in a quick and sudden motion, almost as if scrutinizing the person recording her. Evidently, it scares the living daylights out of the cameraman, but it doesn't stop him from recording. He continues to film, just in case she moves again. But she doesn't. The figure is now acting as it should.
Güey, qué pedo!
Now, this whole occurrence has freaked out many viewers, including the father who came here before. However, unlike many, he started to think that maybe this was just part of the figure's design. Maybe it was meant to move as it was built that way. But according to the museum's owner, this should not have happened.
¿Qué onda, amigo? No manejo nada de mecatrónica. Es una figura totalmente en cera. Mira, es una pieza total rígida, no se puede manipular. Te digo, no tiene nada. Te digo, mira, te muestro. No hay cables, no hay nada. No es un robot. Es una figura totalmente en cera.
If the figure isn't an animatronic or anything of that sort, then just how exactly did it move? This question continues to remain unanswered, and it seems likely that it'll stay that way for a while until more evidence is presented. Until then, you can assess what exactly transpired here.
Yeah, they could have just switched it.
Now, the following video comes from an account that posts videos of firefighters putting out fires. All the videos on this page appear to be meant for educational purposes, from showing procedures that a firefighter must follow during critical situations, to demonstrating how a fire truck navigates through traffic. An aspiring firefighter can find these videos pretty useful. However, one video in particular might seem a bit strange to the person who's watching this for educational purposes. Unlike most videos, this one is pretty creepy. On March 10th of 2025, a man is recording a vacant property that's burning down in the middle of the woods. As he films, something is captured that's left many viewers unsettled. Now, the the man recording owns this property, and he had no idea that during this footage, something pretty creepy happened. I'll play the rest of the footage and let you see for yourself. This is what he caught.
You should see it right now. It's amazing. Look through the window. Woo. It's getting out of hand right now. Woo. Woo. It's getting out of hand right now.
It isn't obvious at first, but if you look closely, a black figure can be seen moving inside the burning structure. Considering that the property had been vacant for many years, there shouldn't have been anyone or anything inside, but strange.
So actually, if you heard him talking, he was talking with somebody next to him. Is it possible that there's more than just the two people there with that burning house, and that's just another person in the house? He just said nobody should be there because it's an abandoned house. How do you know only two people went there? First off, you guys are there. So you're there. Maybe they saw the flame too. Maybe they aren't with you and they saw the house on fire and they went over there to check it out. We literally just saw a person inside a house. That's not a ghost. Play it again.
Strangely, something is. Even stranger is that the figure quickly ducks out of sight the moment the owner looks down the hall, almost as if it was trying to hide. The owner would have probably seen it had he not been mesmerized by the blazing flames that were close to him.
It's amazing. Look through the window.
For this reason, he misses the figure, and, apparently, something else. It was only after viewers started looking closely at the rest of the footage that more things were noticed. As it seems, the figure wasn't the only unsettling thing about this clip.
Ooh, that's burning. I don't know why that burns.
Out of nowhere, a child's voice is caught on camera, even though there were no kids around. It's a distinct voice that clearly sounds like a child laughing. Although not sure where the voice came from, many believe that the house might have some connection to it. If that's so,
I think the only reason why that sounds like a child's laughter is because he said that it was a child's laughter. It sounded more to me like a bug of some sort. Like, you know how there's those forest bugs that make those like noises, you know? But if it wasn't a bug and it was a kid's laughter, did he bring kids out there to watch the house burning maybe? I mean, I don't know, but how does a child laughing have anything to do with ghosts? Play it again, please.
then what was captured next has most likely convinced many that the house is haunted. While recording a different side of the burning structure, this was caught.
All day.
Like before, a dark figure is briefly seen before disappearing out of nowhere. It's the fact that it comes out from the same house where the last figure was seen that makes this video even creepier, and it doesn't help that a child's voice was caught earlier. Could it be, as viewers believe, that all these occurrences are due to the fact that the house is haunted? Some believe that the burning house has forced whatever had been inside to leave the property at once, which to them explains why the shadowy figure was seen running out of the house and the kid's voice was heard outside, as if they...
Did you hear what he just said? The house was burning, so the ghost had to evacuate? Or what? Like, is he going to die again? Like, whoa. Why would a house burning have anything to do with our ghost being there or not? What? That didn't make any sense. And then also, he said about the guy walking in the background. So that just furthers my idea that there was another person on the other side, and they went out the other side, and that's them walking away from the house on the other side. That same guy that I said was in the house. It's not. Golly, play the video again, please. Right?
Had nowhere else to go now. Although an interesting thought, it isn't certain if that's the case. Like all videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions, but let me know what you think.
I'm going to strongly suggest it's a ghost, but come up with your own explanation. Okay.
Now this next video takes place at a hotel in Spain where a group of friends had taken an elevator that for some reason wouldn't take them to their floor.
Alright, so it's been doing this for a minute. And there's nothing out there. You need to hit that gym. You wanna figure it out? Alright, no, that did something,
No.
Dude, I don't know.
What is going on?
Are we too heavy? Is there someone there? What?
Although pretty creepy, it could be that the elevator was simply malfunctioning and therefore unable to move. However, this occurrence wouldn't be so creepy if it weren't for the fact that other hotel guests have reported the same problem when taking this elevator. It's a common occurrence according to hotel staff, and they're not sure why this happens. The 16th floor is still under construction, meaning that no guests are staying there at the moment, so it doesn't make sense as to why it does this. But fast forward to only a day or two later, and this happens.
Yo, so this elevator is acting mad weird. We started a few floors up, and
Yo.
Did we stop?
The elevator suddenly stops working. As it turns out, there had been a power outage affecting most parts of Spain and Portugal, and it just so happens that the group of friends were taking this elevator when it happened.
the backup, yeah, there you go. The backup generator has been coming on and off. We've been having the time of our lives. And yeah, we're like cooking alive.
Now thankfully, while being stuck inside, the backup generator kicks in, but it's not working as it should, as the lights continue to go on and off randomly. But as all three friends have fun with the flashing lights, this happens.
There you go. I got you.
Oh. Oh, he's cooking something.
What are you doing?
Yep. Yep.
I gotta pee.
Oh, you gotta pee.
It's making my bladder. I gotta pee.
You gotta pee.
Feel like the rappers. Go. I gotta pee.
Oh, yeah.
I'm holding my bladder.
Yep.
I gotta pee. I don't know what else is going on. I gotta pee. It's making me mad. Go on like so. Anger like Bowser.
Guys, this is probably the worst thing.
In the corner of the elevator, a dark silhouette is seen right behind one of the friends. It's small, but clear enough to see that something out of place is there. Neither friend had realized what this was, but after watching this footage, they can't help but think that something otherworldly had been inside the elevator. Now thankfully, after some time, the group was able to escape, but not in the way that they imagined.
We're moving.
I know.
Thank you.
Where are we
Oh,
going?
wait.
The 16th
Stop.
No. No.
That's the same one as before.
No way.
All right.
They were brought up to the 16th floor after being stuck inside for about an hour and a half. Just like before, no one had called it. Although definitely strange, they would much rather be on this floor than inside the broken elevator for obvious reasons. But the question still remains, just who called it up? And most importantly, just what exactly had been inside the elevator? To this day, the friends have no clue, but they're just glad that things didn't take a turn for the worse while being trapped inside. Ghost or not, this video is pretty strange.
Okay, stop it there. So there's a few things I noticed. First off, they mentioned very clearly the elevator breaks down quite a lot. They're having some kind of technical issues with this elevator quite frequently by their own admission. So I wouldn't be that concerned about it doing the same thing it's been doing because it needs to be serviced. Obviously, this is in a country where they're not keeping up on the safety checks. But with that being said, I probably wouldn't go in that elevator, not because of ghosts, because I don't want to die. What were you saying? Yeah, just take the stairs. It won't kill you. All those 16 floors, goodness sakes. I'm not going to march up 16. Put me on the first floor, you know. The second thing I wanted to mention is obviously it's an issue with electronics because the elevator broke down. Now, he said it was because of a power flux or whatever, power outage. But maybe, maybe. And then the last thing is the thing moving in the corner. First off, we don't know what that was, and we didn't have a good view of it, nor did we have a good view of the elevator. So we really can't comment too much about what it was. For all we know, they were pulling a prank, and they thought, "Hey, the lights keep going off. Let's do a little prank in our video." What were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something? Oh, or maybe it was something that we didn't see that was moving it. One of the friends kicked his leg. It wasn't put there overly carefully. There was a dog in the thing. I mean, I don't know. I didn't have a good view, but I do know that there's a lot of other explanations besides ghost. Like there's nothing in this video that says you should hop to the conclusion of a ghost. You know what I mean? If you're going to go to the supernatural and this kind of stuff and the paranormal and all that, you probably ought to have a reason for it. You know what I mean? Like you don't just believe something just because they told you to. And you'll notice that these videos like this, you have people who want to believe in ghosts watching them and then coming to the conclusion that there are ghosts. Play it again, please.
It's late at night when a mother quickly grabs her phone to record this video. She lays in bed across from her daughter, who just told her a few hours ago that she was scared of sleeping in her room. According to the mother who sent me this, she was terribly shaken up by the events of that night. Something in her home had felt completely off, and she needed to record this. While taking this video, she captures this.
So, my daughter's sleeping with me in my bed tonight. She kept saying that she was really scared of something in her room. I'm a little bit shaky. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is the same toy that used to go off in the past, and it's always terrified me since. So I would ask it questions and it would answer with noises. With noises.
Now I will admit that watching this video the first time, I completely missed what happened. It wasn't until brightening up this footage that it became much clearer. A finger on this toy arm suddenly lifts on its own. It almost seems to be pointing at the mother, as if to say, "I see you." Although definitely strange, this occurrence is made creepier by the toy truck. For whatever reason, it was going off before this happened. As the mother writes, the reason this toy truck scares her isn't just because it's going off right now, but because it seems to be intelligent when it shouldn't be. Shannon, the mother in question, would sometimes ask the toy to light up or make a sound, and shortly thereafter, it would. This has led her to believe the toy's either cursed or haunted. The same is said about the toy arm. But as always, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Did Shannon capture evidence of a paranormal occurrence? Or might there be something to explain what happened? Let me know your thoughts on this one. If you caught something creepy on...
So, okay, as a parent, I would just like to mention that no parent has ever been... Let me say it differently. No parent has not gone through this situation before. Those toys go off like crazy. It'll be 2 o'clock in the morning. You're just like, go to sleep, stop playing with your toys. And all the kids are asleep. They just put it just right where the thing goes off. I mean, it happens all the time. And it's not so, and even by her own admission, she said this toy is the one that always goes off. And so then she said that she's attributing ghostly powers to it, by the way that or paranormal powers to it. But she said this, I ask it questions and see how it responds. Well, you know, if you look for signs, you're going to see them. Watch, okay? I can do the exact same thing, okay? Okay, if the next car, have a car go by the window by the count of 5 if there's a ghost here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. No ghost there. Oh, there was just passed. It was just, I was counting too fast. It was there. See what I mean? Like, of course, if you look for it, you're gonna find it. And so, depending on a toy that's obviously busted for your, Ouija board interaction, probably isn't the smartest of decisions that she could have made. Second off, the finger moving. If you notice, she said that it pointed at her, but it didn't point at her, did it? It didn't move and point at her. It was like this, and it never moved to her. She was standing next to it. Instead, all that happened was one finger lifted up. Do you know what can move one finger on a toy? A fishing line. It's not that complicated. So what is her working theory? There's a ghost in the house, or a demon, who knows, and it is waiting to play with my toys till my kid's asleep, that stinker. And now it's wanting to lift the finger, because why? Because why? Or is she trying to say that it possessed the hand? It's just silly either way. I see nothing in that video, again, that shows anything about ghosts. I think that she believes in ghosts. I think that she probably should read her Bible. But I don't think there's anything in that video that spoke to me with the paranormal. Well, again, could it have been ghost? Yeah, I guess it could have been a demon or something, but there's no reason to believe that it was a demon. Go ahead with the video.
On camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video. On May 8th of 2025, a small family from California had shared a video in which something very strange happens. Apparently, whatever took place in this house wasn't just witnessed by the man, but also by the dog resting on the couch. It's this small detail that further makes this video baffling. Now, it's important to know that other dogs live in this house. The family who lives here are genuinely passionate about caring for their pets, which is why they treat each of their dogs as though they were their own children. From having a giant portrait of Frida, Pepper, and Valentino, to having a fully furnished dog room dedicated to them, it's clear that this family embraces all its members and ensures that no one is ever left out, even if one of them is no longer here.
Right? That's not what I was going to say. Yeah. Yeah, that's not what I was going to say, but that's funny. Well, now let's see if I can remember what I was going to say. It was something about, what were you talking about? Yeah, I'm sure it had something to do with dogs. It was something at the video. Oh yeah, I remember. At the very beginning of the video, he said that the dog on the couch heard it too, and that gave the story more credibility. How did that give the story more credibility? A dog hearing a sound makes it more credible? Like, what? So you're not delusional. You're not like schizophrenic. That's a good thing, but at the same time, that doesn't make it more credible of a story. That just means you both heard a sound. So they say these little subtle things in the background to try and steer how you perceive the video. Oh, there's a child's laughter. It didn't sound like a child's laughter to me. Oh, there's a black ghost that's in the back. Well, it really just looked like a person to me. Like, and if you just listen to what they're saying, yeah. Keep going.
Only a month ago, Maxie, their first and oldest Chihuahua, had passed away from old age. Not a single day passes without thinking of little Maxie. He was deeply cared for, which makes it even harder for the family to accept that he's now gone. But despite this unfortunate story, the family's now focused on something else that happened recently. It was on a Thursday afternoon when this was captured.
3 2 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0
Out of nowhere, the sound of a barking dog is heard from inside the house. The man turns around to see if it was the dog behind him, but it wasn't. Something about these barks sounded familiar, and it wasn't until re-listening to the audio that the man knew he wasn't just hearing things, but rather a barking dog that sounded just like Maxie. No other dog is seen around except the one on the couch, and the other dogs that live here weren't home at this moment. If no other dog had barked, then which did? To the family, the answer is clear. It was Maxie who had barked. They believed that little Maxie had paid them a visit by barking in his usual manner. Apparently, this is how he barked when he wanted someone to come get him. Understandably, Maxie's owner begins to tear up after weeks of not hearing from him since he passed away. Their other dog seems to hear the barks too, but like his owner, he can't seem to find where they're coming from. As with most videos, this one remains unsolved. Thanks for watching.
Okay, I'm calling bull on that. First off, the dog on the couch didn't even stand up or go anywhere. This was supposed to be a friendly, his friend that had died weeks before, and he hears it, and he doesn't even care enough to get off the couch? What? He never really liked Maxie. Well, that's my moot point. He probably didn't like Maxie, but that's not my point. My point is, that doesn't fit. And then he says, it's a dog sound. That didn't sound like a dog sound to me. Maybe it's a poor audio quality, but I don't know what that was. Let's say it was a dog sound. Let's just say. That looked like an apartment, didn't it? If you ever lived in these stack apartments and you have a neighbor that has a pet, it echoes in the house that you're in. It's crazy. But let's just assume it's not an apartment, though. California has these row houses that you can literally stick your hand out the kitchen window and touch the neighbor's house. Like, they're very, very close together. Is it just as possible that their window was open and your window was open and the dog barked and it echoed into your house? Well, yeah, that's pretty possible too. I mean, this is California. It's not like everybody has a giant yard. And then another thing that he said that didn't really even fit. Oh yeah, he said, this is the way that his dog used to bark. You mean in the way that every small dog barks? What? Like every single Chihuahua that I've ever seen makes the exact same noise, and you're telling me this one was my Maxie. Because why? There was nothing in that video. Like, but obviously I guarantee you that there's going to be the people who watch something like that and they say, I left my dog last January too, and it's just so hard. And it's not that I'm not trying to make fun of losing a pet. I understand some people can get very attached to their pet. What I am trying to make fun of is the idea of my pet died, and so now it is coming and talking to me. It did sound like a small. Now, I'm actually glad you brought up the child thing, Todd. Did you guys see that on the TV a child's cartoon was playing? Did you guys see that? It was a girl's cartoon with some princesses. I don't know what the show was, but can you try to, on the line, just kind of push a little bit earlier? Here, if you can't get it, I might be able to. Yeah. Maybe somewhere in there.
No other dog is seen around
pause it.
except the one on the...
Play it again.
Something about these barks sounded familiar, and it wasn't until re-listening to the audio
like
that the man knew he wasn't just hearing things, but rather a barking dog that...
Yeah, it kind of looks like an animation to me. If that is a girl's cartoon, which is what it looks like to me, I could be wrong, but it looks like one. If it is, I wonder if they have it on for the dog to watch or if they have a kid in the house. And if that kid is playing with something in the other room since they're not in front of the couch, and possibly it caused a sound that was similar to the dog, or was playing a recording of the dog. People do record things nowadays on their phones, for instance. Is it possible that that happened? Well, of course it's possible. And the thing I'm trying to get across is all this. You guys probably could have figured all the things I said out tonight by yourself. It's not like I have said something super amazing and world crushing. I have not also offered any definitive proof that anything you saw tonight was not a ghost. Rather, I have simply brought up the possibility of it isn't definitely a ghost. And that's kind of the whole idea of what these people are doing. They're posting these videos and they're saying, this was a ghost. It's creepy. I had this paranormal experience. And this is the thing I want you to get from this whole conversation before we get into ghosts and hauntings next week. Spiritual people who are into mystical things and spiritual things, not just Christians, but non-Christians too, people who are just spiritual in general. These people are sometimes too naive because they want to believe. So a lot of times I've seen where Christians will watch videos like this and they'll go, oh, I can't watch this. That's demonic. And it's like, no, it's somebody in their house with a fishing line pulling a prank. You know what I mean? Now, am I saying that every single one of these is fake? Mostly, yes. I am not real sure if I've ever actually seen one that I would say, that's a demon. Most of them I've seen have been very sketchy at best. And so that's pretty much my entire point here, is that when you're spiritual, you sometimes become naive because you don't want to critically analyze something. You want to believe, and so you go to ghost videos with that basis of already believing that it's possible. And so I talk to a lot of Christians nowadays who believe in ghosts, they believe in demons, they believe in this different stuff. And I'm not saying I don't believe in it, but they're saying that they do believe in it and runs their whole life, and they're convinced that their house is haunted, that their, this or that is haunted. And so we're going to look at it next week. Is there any biblical basis for ghosts, for hauntings, for demons, for all the different stuff? We're going to look at them all together and see where we can land on any of it. So any questions any questions about anything we talked about tonight, be they the discussion or the ghosts, or comments, besides that it was Sasquatch, Bigfoot, besides it was Bigfoot in that first, On this one or the other one? What a mystery. I like how many times he told us about how, all that you decide. Of course, I'm going to put spooky music over it, and I'm going to tell you this backstory, and I'm going to, highlight stuff with my little finger on the screen and all this. But you decide. It's like, okay, you're leaning on it real strongly, though, buddy. But yeah, okay. Any questions or anything? No? Yes. Imagine that. Now, we laugh, Todd, but you know how many times I talk with people and they say, but I saw it on the internet. And I'm like, well, don't know what to tell you, buddy. Back in the day, it was funny because there's the old, stupid people who were believing stuff on the internet. Now it's the young, stupid people believing stuff on the internet. I don't know. What do you do with that? And just to let you guys know, I got this from a popular YouTuber. His name's Bizarre Bub. You can see his little watermark there on this bottom there. I did not sugarcoat which one I grabbed. I just grabbed his latest upload, and that's one we did. Like, I didn't look for one that was like, oh, these are obviously fake. I just grabbed the latest one he did. So yeah, okay. If you guys have any questions about that, chances are we're going to look at it next week with the ghosts and the hauntings and all that, but you can put it in the question box just in case.